Hi, and welcome to my channel, Hopewell Stories. Today's video is how a female CEO left her baby at a church. Years later, he walked in as the pastor. But before we dive into the full story, let me know where you're watching from and what time it is now, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It was a cold winter night in a small town called Willow Creek. The snow fell softly, covering the streets in white. Inside the quiet church on the corner of Main and Elm, a young woman stood alone. She was only 19 years old, with tired eyes and trembling hands. In her arms, wrapped in a pink blanket, was a baby boy. His name was Jacob. She looked down at him one last time, tears falling onto his tiny face. "I'm so sorry," she whispered. "I can't give you the life you deserve." She gently placed him on the steps of the church, wrapped him tightly, and rang the bell. Then she turned and walked away, disappearing into the night. Inside the church, a kind old couple named Mr. and Mrs. Hart answered the door. They had been married for over 30 years and had never been able to have children. When they saw the baby, they were shocked, but also filled with love. "He's a gift," Mrs. Hart said, holding him close. Years passed. Jacob grew up in a loving home. The Harts gave him everything: a warm bed, good food, and most importantly, love. He didn't know who his real mother was, but he never felt like something was missing. The Harts told him the truth when he was old enough to understand. "You were left at the church because your mother loved you and wanted the best for you," Mr. Hart said. Jacob was a smart and kind boy. He loved helping people and always had a big smile. As he grew older, he became interested in religion and helping others. When he was 18, he decided to go to seminary school to become a pastor. After years of study and hard work, he returned to Willow Creek to lead the very church where he had been left as a baby. Meanwhile, far away in the big city, a woman named Clara Morgan was making a name for herself. She had started as a young intern at a tech company and worked her way up to become the youngest CEO in the country. She was smart, strong, and successful. But no matter how many awards she won or how much money she made, there was always a hole in her heart. That hole was shaped like a baby boy named Jacob. She had never forgotten him. Every year on his birthday, she lit a candle and prayed for him. She never tried to find him, though. She believed he was better off without her. She thought he would hate her if he knew the truth. But life has a way of bringing people back together. One Sunday morning, the church was full. Jacob, now Pastor Jacob Hart, stood at the front, smiling and ready to speak. He was 26 years old now, and the people of Willow Creek loved him. As he looked out at the crowd, his eyes landed on a woman sitting in the back row. She looked familiar, but he couldn't place her. She looked nervous, her eyes were on him, and she was gripping her Bible tightly. After the service, people came up to talk to Jacob. He shook hands, hugged old ladies, and joked with the kids. But the woman in the back stayed seated. When everyone else had left, she slowly walked up to him.
"Hi," she said softly.
"Hello," Jacob said, smiling. "Welcome to our church." "Thank you," she said. I wanted to say, I've heard a lot about you."
"Aw?"
Jacob laughed. "I hope it's all good."
"It is,"
she said. Then she paused. "You remind me of someone." "Do I?" Jacob asked, curious now. Clara took a deep breath. "You look just like your father." Jacob smiled faintly. "My father?" I paused. "I'm not sure how to say this," Clara said, tears forming in her eyes. "I'm your mother." There was silence. Jacob stared at her, shocked. "What? I left you at this church when you were a baby," Clara said, tears now falling. "I never wanted to. I couldn't take care of you then. I was young and scared, but I've never stopped loving you." Jacob took a step back. His heart was pounding. "You're my mother?" Clara nodded.
"Yes."
"My name is Clara Morgan." Jacob's eyes widened. "Like the Clara Morgan, the CEO." Clara gave a small, sad smile.
"Yes, that's me."
Jacob didn't know what to say. He felt like the world had tilted beneath his feet. He had spent his whole life believing he was an orphan. And now this woman was standing in front of him, claiming to be his mother. "I need some time," he said quietly. Clara nodded. "Of course. I understand." Over the next few weeks, Jacob struggled with the truth. He loved the Harts, They were his parents. But now there was this woman, this powerful woman, who was connected to him in the deepest way possible. He started meeting with Clara. They talked, shared stories, and slowly began to build a relationship. Clara told him about her life, how she had grown up poor, how she had gotten pregnant in high school, and how she had given him up because she thought it was the best thing for him. "I always hoped you'd have a good life," she said. "One day. And when I heard you became a pastor, I knew you had." Jacob looked at her. "Why now? Why come back after all these years?" "I saw you on the news," Clara said. "You were giving a speech about love and forgiveness, and I thought, maybe you could forgive me." Jacob was quiet for a long time.
Hav.
Then he said, "I don't know if I can call you mom yet, but I want to get to know you." Clara smiled through her tears. "That's more than I hoped for." Months passed, and Clara became a regular at the church. She helped fund a new community center and donated to local charities. People began to see the love she had for her son and the town. Jacob even gave a sermon one Sunday about forgiveness and second chances. "Sometimes," he said, "the people we least expect come back into our lives to teach us something important. My story isn't perfect, but it's mine. And I've learned that love can find us in the most unexpected ways." The church clapped, and Clara sat in the front row, smiling proudly. Years later, Clara and Jacob stood side by side at the opening of the new community center. "Thank you," Jacob said into the microphone.
To my mother.
"And to my parents. I have two sets of parents who loved me when I needed it most." Clara looked at him with tears in her eyes. He had finally called her mother. And in that moment, the hole in her heart was filled. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching, and see you on the next video. Bye.